Guys, we are on a series based on the koshas, and I did not bring in my chart today, but I wanted you to see this. And we are on the second layer, which is Pranamaya kosha, and we'll get started shortly. So I mentioned last week we were starting a new series called koshas, and the koshas are the different and various layers, casings, or aspects of our being. I've mentioned that the little wooden Russian dolls where you break open and there's another one inside, and there's another one inside, and there's usually about 5. Yogis often talk about koshas being like the dolls, you know. They also talk about it being like lampshades, right? So the light bulb would represent the soul, and then a lampshade going on top would be one of the layers that's kind of covering the soul. And then if you put 4 other lampshades on top, then that's just all those other sheets or layers. And we know that the more shades you put over the light's going to alter. It's going to be a little dim. It's going to be a little obscure. And so the idea in yoga meditation is to go through those different layers so that you can discover your true essence, your true self. And that's what we're trying to do when we're being meditative on the mat. It's what we're trying to do when we're even moving through the body, shedding those layers of stress and tension, getting that out of the way, getting the restless nature out of the way, so that we can come back into that more pure, peaceful state. So when we're talking about the second kosha or the second layer today, it's called Pranamaya kosha. Last week, the first layer was Annamaya kosha, which is the food body or the actual physical body that you can touch, that you can see, anything that's tangible. So the Pranamaya kosha, if you think about prana, we talk about pranayama. So prana means the vital life force energy. So prana in yoga is energy in English. It's called chi in Chinese. It's called ki in Japanese, like Reiki, right? The ki is the chi, the energy. Ka in ancient Egyptian language. But anyway, every culture has their own name for what this is. It can't be seen, it's not tangible, but it's measurable, and it can be experienced and felt. We know every day our energy can be high or low. We know sometimes we have just a gut feeling about something that comes in energetically. And because we are physical bodies, we look at our physical body as being kind of like a sponge. So when we're maneuvering the body and generating more energy, we're absorbing that in shavasana in the aftermath of the practice when we lie in stillness. So it's the absorption and the integration of all this newly awakened energy. And we trust the body's intelligence to send the energy where it needs to go, because it really flows everywhere inside. The energy is what animates the body. It's what gives the body expression. It's allowing us to even have those creative ideas and thought streams that occur in the headspace. So energy is a really important layer. But again, it's just the second layer. So that's our focus today, Pranamaya kosha. We will be doing breath work, lots of different breath work. And we'll still be moving the body because the movement is important to get the energy flowing so it doesn't get stuck or stagnant or blocked. 3 main portals of energy that I'll say, and then we'll get rolling. One is through breath, obviously. That's the primary portal. The second is from the sun. The sun giving us light and energy. And we've been getting a lot of solar flares. There's been a lot of solar activity, especially these last couple of years with all the changes that we're going through. So our body's trying to integrate this new stuff that's coming in with that. And then the third is our food, the food that we do eat and digest. It breaks it down, and then some of that is, again, turned into energy to fuel our bodies. So we're going to start sitting. I would suggest sitting on the folded blanket for a bolster. So we're gonna do a little breath work. You sit on the edge of a cushion, you know, just scoop to the edge, so the knees kind of angle downward. And then let your arms just rest to your lap for a moment. Pull up through the sternum, as well as the crown of your head. As you exhale, soften the shoulders and ground through your hips. And just take a moment to take some deep diaphragmatic breaths. Following the inhalation up. Following the exhalation down. Just checking in with your own energy today. As we woke up with all the rain, you might have felt a little lower energetically. And if that's the case, the next breath work that we're going to practice is going to help to energize and invigorate us. So let's go ahead and crack the lids of the eyes open, bring your hands to fist. This is going to be a short, sharp inhale, exhale through the nose. It looks like this. And pretty quick, okay? So let's begin. Once you have it, close the eyes. I'll learn this breath by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Who's head over the art of living. He's a yoga master. Teaches a lot of dharma, teaches a lot of meditation. 3, 2, and 1. Relax your hands to your lap, palms open. You might feel the heaviness of the arms. You might feel a tingling sensation running through the arms or fingertips. And this is the energy we're awakening and working with. So just let it sink in. We're going to do a second round of that breath. Bring your hands to fist in front of your shoulders and begin. Three, 2, and 1. Relax the arms down. Just be with it. Breath is more organic in between. So just let it naturally ebb and flow. We'll do one more round of that. Hands to the fists. Let's begin. Three, 2, and 1. Relax the arms. So if you're ever sitting for long periods of time at your desk and feeling that lull, that lack of energy, that's a good breath work to take. If you're ever on a long road trip and you start to get tired with your drive, pull over, do that type of breath work, and it will recharge you. And then open up your eyes. We're going to come away from that seat. We're going to come down to our backs for what we call the abdominal breath flow. Have your knees bent, your feet flat, your palms facing downward. And as you inhale, push down through the soles of the feet, circle the arms overhead, lift thighs, hips, abdomen, chest up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're gonna roll down. Bring your arms with, but the arms will not land to the mat because we're lifting and floating the feet, lifting the back of the head and curling in like a cannonball. Good, inhale, descend back down. And as you exhale, roll it down one vertebra at a time, contracting and curling in. All right, continue with this formula. Inhale, opening the front of the body, strengthening the back of the body. And as you exhale, strengthening the front of the body and stretching the back of the body. Continue to move up to bridge on your inhale. Contracting the belly, curling in on the exhale. And just do this like 3 more rounds. A little space between the feet, but you're really rooting down through the inseams of the feet when you lift up, to keep the knees narrow, to keep the thighs rolling in. All right, the next time you curl in like a cannonball, you're gonna keep your head and your neck up, but you're gonna separate your knees, not all the way, just a portion of the way. The elbows are gonna stack to the inside of the knees. You're gonna flex your wrists. And then you're gonna lean your head back just enough to look past your fingertips. You're gonna keep the belly hugging in, your low back flattening down. A supine variation of crow pose, Bakasana. Feel with the knees squeezing the arms, how the forearms stay parallel with each other. You're having to work the outer shoulders, the triceps. This is going to come into play later when we actually take this arm balance. Now, lower the head of the neck. Hug the knees back in. Separate your knees all the way wide. Flip the feet to face the ceiling. Grab a hold of your shins or a hold of the big toes or a hold of the inner arches or the outer portions of the feet. Every hand position is going to feel a little different. Pick one. Pull down on the feet. Let your knees stay splayed. Descend down through the tailbone. Happy baby pose. Take one last breath. And then as you exhale, draw the knees together, put the hands up underneath the crease of the knees, keep the feet up and rock and roll forward. Once you rock and roll forward, we're gonna fly the feet back up off the floor, having the shins parallel to the ground, lengthen out through the arms. All right, when you're ready, inhale, we're taking canoe. And as we exhale, we're coming back to the Navasana half boat. Do that twice more. It's all stemming from the abdominals. Pause here. Breathe here. Now take the hands behind your thighs. See if you can slowly straighten out through the legs. Good, then exhale, crisscross the ankles so you come forward. We're gonna transfer to hands and knees. We're still just warming up. We're gonna get up and do some sun sounds in a moment. We're starting with knees below the hips or slightly back beyond. Hands aligned underneath the shoulders. So we're starting here in table. We don't want to change anything in the lower body here. All we're doing is walking the arms now in front of us, keeping the hands shoulder distance apart, finding a nice diagonal line between the wrists and the hips. The head drops a little bit, so the ears are in line with the upper arm bones. Now this is puppy. Feel how the rib cage is still ironed into the skin. We're not dragging the shoulders down yet. We're keeping the armpits lifted. And on the next out breath, we're going to breathe out through the mouth, a cleansing breath, and sink down into the shoulder joints. And we're scooping through the low back and dropping towards the chin, looking out with the eyes. All right, inhale, puppy. Sit in through the front body, and then exhale, melt down. Continue this flow of movement. This is helping to drain the lymphatic tissue through the chest. This is flushing the lymph nodes and the pits of the arms. This is bringing more flexibility to the spine and shoulders. And accelerating the prana or energy into the heart space. The next time you inhale a puppy, your hands will slide back. We're going to advance into downward facing dog. So curl the toes and launch back to Adho Mukha. Firm hands as they push down into the mat. Planting the balls of the feet, elevating the heels. Sits bones soaring up and away, and head bowing. Rediscover your breath. Control your breath. And affirm internally within, calmness radiates throughout every fiber of my being. Now on your next in-breath, you're going to walk and travel the feet forward towards the top of the mat. You're going to fold over to Uttanasana. Even though we warmed up the back of the legs with our boat and our down dog, this is a little bit more extreme. So zip up through the front side of your legs, meaning lifting your kneecaps, drawing the quads up towards the hips, drawing that navel in towards the spine. Let your head and arms gravitate down. Now on your next in-breath, go ahead and inhale, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, bring hands almost to the hearts. We're going to do breath of joy. My son goes to National School of the Arts. They did a concert Friday night, and they were being, like the conductor was being so dramatic. All right, so you're going to feel a little bit like a conductor here. Have fun with it. It's 3 short in-breaths. And then the exhale is, and then when you come back up, join in. Breath of joy. Do 2 more. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift to Utkatasana, fierce pose or chair pose. Doing a little bit of pranayama work. As we exhale, it's like we're downhill skiing, arms reach back, and the trunk becomes parallel to the floor. All right, we're going to do this with a cleansing breath. Breathing in, breathing out through the mouth. Two more. Then inhale all the way up. Exhale, we're beginning our sun salves. Remembering the sun is one way we receive this new energy. Inhale, halfway up. Draw the shoulders back from the ears, lengthen through the sides of your neck, and then exhale, fold in. On your next inhale, left foot's gonna step back into this lunge, but we're gonna take the weight off the hands. Taking the weight off the hands, the shoulders are gonna roll back from the ears. You're still leaning over the front thigh, and you're really applying pressure through that front foot. This is gonna strengthen the hamstrings. Now focus on your right hip. Drive it towards the back side of your mat. When you feel the right hip lengthening back behind you, you're gonna feel the left hip slightly roll towards the front. I know this takes a lot of energy to do this. Now stretch through both thigh bones, push back through your left heel, and then hands down. Inhale, we're gonna take plank, but it's gonna be a flying plank where the right foot stretches towards the back wall. Try not to soar the hips up. We tend to soar the hips up when the shoulders back away from the wrist. So keep your arms like columns. Shift forward, lower down to a flying chaturanga. Lower the right foot, untuck the left toes, and build up to the silts of the arms into up dog. Good. Curl the left toes under, and you're flexing the right foot and pushing back to downward facing dog. The right leg stays up. The hips stay square. So the hips are going to stay even. Shoulders are going to stay level. Gaze towards your left foot. Take one last deep breath. On your next inhale, swing the right foot back through between your hands. We're coming into that same position. So we're taking the dependency off the hands here because really the emphasis in lunge should be in the lower body. Glide your right hip back. Lengthen out through the thigh bone. Hands down. Spring the back foot forward. Come halfway up. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, build up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Now we're going to target the second side. Same flow. Inhale, the arms sweep up. Exhale, fold in, hinging from the hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, burrow back down towards your thighs. Belly first, chest second, face last. This time, inhale, step your right foot back. All right, you're pushing through your back half of the heel. And you're drilling the left foot down even stronger so the muscles have to fire up more in that front leg. Hands hover, head stays lifted. Now glide your left hip back, and that right hip will automatically kind of scoot forward. All right, hands down. Flying plank as you breathe in. Flying chaturanga as you breathe out. Descend your left foot, untuck the right toes, up dog. Exhale, curl the right toes under, flex your left ankle, and slowly take it back. Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is the one-legged variation of down dog. Next inhale is going to step the left foot forward. The exhale is going to float the hands. The inhale slides the left hip back, and the exhale keeps you planted here. All right, inhale, hands down, right foot steps forward, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, scale down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Ready for the second round. Inhaling. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, drop back. Inhale this time, taking your left foot back. Solidify that front foot. Float and hover your hands off the floor. Do that little swivel, little adjustment through the hips. And we're ready to come up to crescent. When you rise to crescent lunge, this is going to be the inhale. And if you need to stay right here, that's okay. Otherwise, exhale, wing the arms, arch back. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, open the gates of the heart. Round 3. Working it with your breath. Then bring the cactus arms with you. Lower the hands down. Right foot, blind plank. Exhale, flying chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Curl the left toes under. Ekta Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. So sometimes we ask that you scissor the leg and point the top foot. But for today, we're keeping the hips even and that foot flex that's on top. Let's swing the right foot through again. Cover the hands, find your drishti. Once you have everything like minorly corrected here, inhale, rise to crescent. Exhale, wing it back. 2 more. Last one. Hinge forward with your practice arms. Eventually hands come down. That will help you to boost that left foot all the way to the front, coming halfway up upon arrival. Exhale, lower down and in. Inhale to the top. Exhale, coming right back down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, right foot steps back. Get those feet established without the use of the hands. Square the hips. And then bring it up. Once you're in the crescent lunge, determine your balance on this side. You're fine to stay here. Otherwise, open the gates of the heart, wing back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, open the heart. Power of 3. Cactus arms comes forward with you. Hands down, left foot flying plank. Exhale, flying chaturanga. Land your left foot, untuck the right toes. Up dog. Right toes curl. Staying on the same side. Left heel on the right. Breathe. When you're ready, inhale. Left foot steps through again. Thighs elongate away from your center. Hands hover. And then we build up. Crescent. Exhale, arch back. 2 more. Gently lower down. Spring that right foot forward. Open up again through your chest. Exhale, bow your head and heart. Feet are grounding. Front side of the legs zipping up. Belly hugging in. Upper body hanging like a rag doll. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we've done 4 sun salves. We're doing 2 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close it in. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Inhale, left foot back. Cover the hands. Inhale, rise to crescent. Exhale, hands to heart. Lower, 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 the back knee, untuck the toes. All right, instead of just sinking in like this, you're gonna pull up through the pelvic floor. Yes, lift your arms up. Exhale, right hand to the hip, left hand to the outer portion of the knee. Good, staying in this twist. Staying with your breath. Good, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands down. Curl the back toes. We're going into the flying plank. Shift forward, shoulders past the wrist to lower it in proper alignment for chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Sorry, I've lost it. I think it was the, yes, right foot lifts up and back. I got distracted. Right foot steps through. Hands covered. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands down. Back knee lowers. Untuck the toes and then pull up. Yep, arms reach. Exhale, spin right again. So for each sun style, we're sticking with the same side or sequence. And then we come back and we hit the second side. We're just doing 6 total today. Inhale, arms up, face the front. Exhale, hands down. Back toes are curling under because we're stepping up to the top of the mat. Lengthening through the vertebrae. And then exhale, forward. Inhale to the top. Now we're going to target that second side, so let's just go right back into the flow. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, lower back in. Inhale, right foot back. All right, hover those hands, really apply pressure through that front foot. Really pick up your back thigh bone, and then slowly rise to crescent. Hands to the heart. Take your time, let the back knee drop, untuck the back toes, pull up through the pelvic floor, up and out through the fingertips. And then exhale, take a twist to your left. Put your eyes on one place, one object. Inhale, arms up, face the front. Exhale, hands come on down, curl back toes, left foot flying plank. Shift forward, lower to flying chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Right toes curl, left leg lifts into the one-legged variation of down dog. Straight the head down, gaze towards the back of your mat. Don't forget to breathe. That's what we're talking about today, the Pranamaya Kosha. Primary layers breath. Left foot steps through. Hands hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, take your time. Hands down, knee down, good stretch for the sole of the foot. Pull up through the pelvic floor, up through the fingertips. Exhale, spin left. So even though we're moving the food body, the physical layer, it's to help open up the energetic channels. Give vibrancy to the chakras. Inhale, face the front, lift the arms. Exhale, hands down. Curl the back toes. When you're ready, launch it through. Ardha Uttanasana. And release. Now let's just hold this position a moment. Gravitate the heart lower, lower, lower towards your knees and shins. Affirming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Expressing my fullest potential. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to heart. Close the eyes. So a couple weeks ago, we had weather like this, like every day for like a week, right? It was very dreary and kind of gloomy. And last week, the skies opened up. The weather was warm and beautiful. Even though it's a little gloomy outside today, we know that beyond the clouds lies the sun. Imagine that you're gazing towards the sun. Affirming salutations to the sun, to the awakening light within, and to the dawning of a much higher state of consciousness in all beings. All right, so let's just do this. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, step back, downward facing dog. All right, so when we're going through this next sequence, you have a choice. You have an option. You can discern what's better for you today. You can step 1 foot at a time, as wide as your mat behind your hands, toes turning away, or you can hop. So you can bend your knees and hop the feet wide behind the hands so that you're coming into Malasana squats. I know it's not always good for us to have that jarring sensation of jumping. It's more of a high impact. Yoga tends to be a lower impact. It does give us a little cardiovascular aspect. So you can choose one or the other. And if you want to stay in Malasana, you don't have to go back and forth since you're using a block. So you can just be there, okay? Anybody wanting to move, you can also follow what I just told Morgan. You can have your hands to shoulder distance apart. You have the option to hop the feet back and then angle the hips up into downward facing dog. Obviously, you can softly step back as well. Deep inhale here. Look forward, bend the knees, and step or hop the feet forward. Coming back to Malasana, we're doing power of 3 today. So this is our second set. All right, hands down. When you're ready, hop the feet back and more together. Angle the hips up skyward, creating this TP type shape with your fork. All right, last one. When you're ready, look forward down the lane of your mat. Feel free to hop through Malasana. And regardless if you're sitting on the floor, sitting on a block, or hovering like this, instead of hunching over, which is the yin way, see if you can extend the spine, open up that area behind the heart. Like gravity helps to open up the hips and the inner thighs. This is also really great for our backs, as well as helping with constipation or any type of elimination. All right, so now that you're close to the floor, you can come on down. All right, so we're gonna work into a flow today that we don't do all the time. So I wanted you to have a visual, and then if you wanna play with it, you can play with it. So when I say play with it, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to go through the whole flow series that I'm gonna show you. There may be a fear factor involved. There may be a good reason for you not to go into it the same way that I am, and you can focus on one pose at a time, okay? But it's gonna look like this, where you're in Malasana to start with. The hands come down, shoulder height, and you want some space here above the hands. So notice I'm backed away from the very top part of the mat. The hips are gonna come up, the toes are going to rock in. Then we bend the elbows, old style push up, scoop the elbows down and in, Get them nice and secure. Then you lift, notice how I'm lifting my head and heels at the same time. I'm bringing the knees to the upper arms and then I'm leaning forward. Notice I'm keeping my head up. I'm not looking down. And then the toes point. This is crow. Now, if you feel safe dropping the crown of the head to the floor, then point the toes in the air. Now you're in a headstand prep. If you feel solid here, you can come to headstand, pointing the toes and elongating your legs. And if you feel good here, you can flex the feet, bring the legs down, lift your head up, and then you're in chaturanga. It's fun. But I know when I first tried this, I made sure I was on carpet. Because I'm just that way. Because this is a hardwood floor. And coming down to the head that way can be a little scary when you're in the arm balance. I'm not gonna lie. You know, now that I'm used to it, familiar with it, it's not a big deal. But the first couple of times I did it, it was like, am I really gonna do this? Wanna try it? You could do just one pose at a time. So in that instant, you could try your crow. I will say, in your crow, if you try to lift your feet and you're constantly rocking back, you're not tipping forward enough with your body. And you have to tip forward more. If you find that you're coming into crow and your head just drops and you're not intending to do that flow I just demonstrated, then that means your head is falling too heavy and you just need to lift the head up to look out with your eyes. And then if you just want to try crow and then come down and try headstand prep, I would suggest maybe being on the knees. Hands down, crawl forward, elbows squeeze in. You can do the old style like scooping. Then tuck the toes, lift the knees, walk, walk until the knees can stack on the arms. And maybe you don't want to go all the way up today. Maybe this is your stopping point. There is more weight on the head with this variation. So if you find that's too much, you can fold over your sticky mat and make it thicker. You can also put a blanket in between the mats as you fold it over, and it gives you even more cushion. All right, so I'm gonna give you some playtime now. Let's start it start from squats, since that's the way we were prepping for it. And then we're lifting the hips, bringing the hands down, turning the toes in, elbows bend, and then scoop and squeeze. The head and the heels lift at the same time as you rock the knees to the upper arms. That's awesome, Amanda. Cool. That's it, Kelsey. Yeah, that's it. Keep your head up the way you were. That's it. And then you'll shift your shoulders and hips forward in order to elevate the feet. You got it. Yep. And it's okay if you want to practice at home, because I know that may be new for you. Yeah, but you did that beautifully. Yeah. That's it, Morgan. That's it. I would suggest maybe tipping forward just a slight bit more. That way the feet can stay up, because you're getting the feet up. They're just not wanting to stay up. So if you just shift your body just a tad bit more, I think you'll have it. Anybody else? Sorry, my back was to you.
No, I'm okay.
You're good, you're good. And then that's it, Kim. Yes. Oh. That was awesome. That was awesome.
It's a lot of weight that landed.
It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of upper body strength. That is a more, I would say, masculine flow. If we want to term it masculine or feminine, because it is a lot of upper body strength. But it is fun once you get that fear factor out of the way. Do you have a question?
Yeah, will you show me how to get back into it when you came up? Like, you know, like you were moving your legs. Can you show that one more time?
From squat, you mean?
Yeah, so it's like.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so the hands are down, shoulder distance, the hips lift, and then the feet turn to face the hands.
Okay.
Yep, and then I do the scooping of the arms to create that shelf. And then lift the heels and the head, and then continue to tip forward so the feet point left.
That's gonna go down my head.
That's okay. It's funny because we're really not that far, but there is a trust factor involved in, can I trust myself? Can I trust my upper body strength to come down in a soft landing?
Yeah, on your head.
Yes,
That's
on
not-
your head.
Scared to go down.
Yes, yeah, that's what I said. I was too, the first time I ever saw this, and I just worked at home with extra padding until I had it, and it's like, all right, now I can go to the floor. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
What, will you do the first phase of the headstand again?
Yeah. Well, so as the legs come down, the head starts to lift. And you're flexing the feet so the toes come down for the chaturanga. That makes sense. Yeah.
If you have the arm strength to do crow, you probably already have the arm strength to go up like that in headstand, or not necessarily? Cause it seems
That's
like
a great question. Sarah, if you can't hear her, she just asked if you have enough strength for crow, do you have enough strength for headstand? It's a completely different pose.
okay.
So if you have enough upper body strength to hold crow, I would say you equally have enough upper body strength for headstand. However, you also with headstand have to have the core strength, which you do for crow, but there's more core strength for headstand. And it's also getting the body inverted, which requires the awareness of the legs rolling in, the toes pointing up, so that you're sending the energy up, so all the weight's not dumping in your head. Your head is still gonna feel heavy, you're still gonna get some compression in your neck. This is not the headstand that I would advise if you have, you good?
Yeah.
That was actually cool. Are you a gymnast?
Cheerleader.
Oh, wow, that was fun. Did you expect it to go that way? That was cool. I mean, I was like, I saw it in my peripheral line of view and I was like, whoa, what? But yeah, the headstand, is that particular one is requiring more for the neck. So if you have some neck stuff, I would do Shirshasana 1. And avoid that one, just depends on the person.
Or like maybe be up against the wall.
Yep.
So your
Yeah.
feet could go, I don't know.
You can, but I wouldn't drop back into chaturanga at the wall. Right, you could do crow with your head to the wall. And then bring the head down and then you could lift. But I would not do the drop back. Your head might fall over the wall, you know. All right, any more questions about that? Yeah, okay, let's move on. That was our big build up today. So now we're kind of wheeling it back in. So the left leg is gonna extend. Right knee's gonna bend. Foot's gonna hop over. And both sides of your seat stay on the ground. Hug that knee in. Lift up through your side body, through your sternum. Right hand comes behind your back. And then feel free to twist deeper from your low, mid, or upper back. Channel the breath up and down. Usually in twist, if we have an equalized breath, equal measured breaths. Same duration on the inhale and the exhale. And then exhale, unwind. That felt good. Right leg out. Left knee bends. Take that foot across. Hug the knee in. Now I want you to just see, when we hug that knee in, typically we get kind of slouchy here, which is why we invest in the length of the spine, lift through the side body, through the sternum, then spin to the left. Maybe maneuver or turn a little bit more if any space is available. And create that equal measured breath. Both legs straighten out. Arms lift. Belly squeezes, and we're rolling it back. As you roll back your heels, you're gonna slide, that's all right. When the hands come down, have the palms lowered to your sticky mat. Bend your knees. Now we're gonna lift to a low bridge. And we're going to do some pranayama. This pranayama is where the mouth is open, the tongue is expelled from the mouth as though you're trying to like lick your chin, but not really. And you're gonna be breathing out through the mouth, kind of like a dog panting when they've been running around and come up so joyously back to you, okay? So let's begin. Watch the belly bellow up and down. 3, 2, 1. Stay up with your hips, close your lips, let your mouth salivate, and then swallow. Lubricate your throat. Round 2. Three, 2, 1. Close your mouth. Let your mouth lubricate again and then swallow. Round 3, squeeze those glutes. Three, 2, 1. Good. Roll it down. Ananda Balasana, you're coming back to happy baby pose. We did this as part of our warm up, but we're also doing it ×2 for our cool down. Just in time for Shavasana. All right, some things are just out of our control. Sorry about the construction. If you grabbed a bolster and want to use it for Shavasana, you can always place it under your knees. You may like a back bend instead. So if you're at home and you're hearing this noise, you can mute it. For those of us here in the studio, we're just gonna have to practice how well we can withdraw away from distraction. And one thing that you can heavily rely on here is your breath, which is what we've been utilizing today to focus on the Pranamaya Kosha. Now I want you to think about, yes, yoga focuses a lot on breath and this layer. So does Tai Chi, so does Qigong. And because it's so breath oriented, it becomes a mind, body, spirit practice. Things like acupuncture, Reiki, any type of energy work like energetic matrix, even things like reflexology. All of these healing arts are focused around this particular layer, Pranamaya, Kosha. It focuses on opening up the energetic channels, opening up the energetic portals, opening up the chakras. This vital life force energy that animates the mind and body. So for the remainder of this practice, I want you to meditate on bearing witness to your inhale and your exhale. Watching it enter and equally watching it exhale. Feeling it flow in and feeling it pour out. And if any thoughts, feelings, sensations, or sounds come into your awareness, just gently bring it back to the breath over and over again. Ready, you can start to deepen the flow of your breathing. Going From observing to controlling. Once you bring that conscious breath back under your command, I would suggest bending your knees. Maybe rocking the knees from side to side. So eventually turning over to one. Coming up to find seats. Sitting in a way the spine can extend. Arms drape down to your lap. You're just focusing on your breath, body, your energetic layer. Remembering we are energetic beings. If you ever walk away from yoga feeling more expanded, maybe taller, maybe thinking things look brighter, it's because you have manipulated this layer, this essence of your being. It's like you've been polishing it up. If we were to measure the aura or the energetic field around the body before and after practice, there would be a tremendous difference. Just like it's not tangible, it cannot necessarily be seen, it can be measured, experienced, and felt. So take this with you as you depart. And be a positive influence to others. Join your hands together to pray. Namaste.